So what is the best WordPress page slash theme builder at the time of recording this video?
Let's find out.
Hello, I'm your host Casino from casino.com. I'm the digital alchemist, and coming up we'll talk about choosing the best WordPress theme builders. So we'll talk about the current market, then we'll talk about choosing the best one, and finally I'll give you my recommendation. And first, let's talk about the current market. Now, it's getting crowded, but let's be honest. Today, at least at the time of recording this video, there are 2, 3, 4, 5 theme builders that can really compete. And I'm talking about in the WordPress ecosystem, because of course, if you go outside of WordPress, you have other tools competing. But if you talk about the WordPress ecosystem, it seems like each and every day there's a new page builder out and also some new theme builders. Now, competition is tough because, as you see, there are some theme builders that are here to stay, and they started a long time ago, so it's going to be hard to catch up, but it's not impossible. On a side note, sorry for the sound. I'm trying this new setup, and with the screen sharing, it seems like my computer is going crazy, at least the fans, so sorry for that. So the most popular one with 5 million installs, active installs, at least at the time of recording this video, is Elementor. And if you know my channel, I talk a lot about Elementor. So this is definitely one of the big ones. Then we have Divi, which is a theme builder and a page builder. So three in one, really. It's one of the big ones also, and it was huge, and I think it was caught up by Elementor. Then we have Thrive Themes, and they just released Thrive Architect, just a few weeks or a few months ago. Then we have Brizy, however you pronounce it, which is like the new kid on the block from a well-established company, although the development seemed to be a bit slow. We have Beaver Builder. I don't know about Beaver Builder. I've tried it initially before I tried Elementor, and even before I tried Divi, I think, or around that time. But it seems like they're not as visible anymore, or maybe it's just because I'm focused on the other ones. So let me know in the comments if you're using Beaver Builder. Then we have Oxigen, which many people actually love. I haven't tried it enough. And I will talk about it in a moment, but I know there's a strong community for Oxigen also. Now, we will mainly focus on the 3 big ones. So Elementor, Divi, and Thrive Themes. Now, I don't know if Thrive is bigger than Oxigen or Beaver Builder, so that's not really what I'll be talking about. But in terms of traction, in terms of momentum, I feel like those 3 are the biggest ones. Now, I may be wrong, but this is just the way I feel about it, what I see in the groups, and the content I see. So I would love to review all the theme builders, but I have no experience with Oxigen. I have the license, I tried it, I didn't spend enough time, so definitely want to try more, but I'm not going to talk about something I don't really know. Beaver Builder, I just tried it on one project, and it was a long time ago. Now, Thrive Themes, I had an active subscription and I stopped, and I will tell you why, but I've used it more than Oxigen and Beaver Builder. Now, I haven't tried the theme builder because it's just new and I don't have a subscription anymore, but I can give you my feeling on the Thrive theme ecosystem. Now, let's talk about the pros and the cons of those builders. So let's start with Elementor. Well, for the pros, there are a lot of pros. First of all, it comes with a free version. That's a real advantage, because when you look at Divi and Thrive Themes, they don't have a free version. You can give a test drive for Divi, and I think there's a trial for Thrive, but it's not like having a great free version that you can test, and then when you feel confident, you can move on to the pro version, which is what I did and what many people did. And maybe that's why Elementor has 5 million installs. Now, that's for the free version. The free version, you can create beautiful websites just with the free version. Now, to me, the real deal is the pro version with the theme builder, because you don't get the theme builder part in the free version. You only get the page builder part. So one of the pros of the Elementor theme builder, to me at least, is that it's very logical. very logical. I've tried other theme builders, and maybe it's just my way of thinking. I'm not saying this is the absolute truth. I'm saying for me, it makes a lot of sense. Now, I remember before coming to Elementor, I was using Divi actually a lot. So it took like a week to really get used to Elementor. But once I got used to it, it was easy. It's just like going when you go from Windows to Mac. It could take like a week, but then from Windows to Mac OS, and then it's easy. Now they are different, and I will talk about it also in a moment and why you would use one and or the other. But basically, I like the way it's logically built for my brain. It might be different for your brain. Now, another pro is that the third-party market is huge. And to me, that's really great because whatever I want to build, whatever the project, most of the time, there's an add-on pack or there's a suite of tools that I'll be able to use. CrocoBlock is just, I mean, it's amazing the value you get for the money you pay, especially if you're one of the lucky ones that got the lifetime deal at the beginning, like I did. But even now with the current pricing, it's still a steal because, okay, it might look like it's a lot of money when you look at the package for, especially if you want to take the agency lifetime deal for CrocoBlock. But if you think about it, you're going to make your money back in one project. So what I would do, and I did actually, you can use one project to pay for all your lifetime licenses, and that should be the goal. But then you can use it and reuse it and reuse it, and it got so many tools. And I just talked about CrocoBlock, but I could talk about ultimate add-ons for Elementor and the whole Brainstorm Force suite of tools with their Astra theme and all the other tools. I could talk about Envato Elements that has a lot of resources for Elementor also. So the Elementor ecosystem is an ecosystem within an ecosystem, which is WordPress. And to me, that's one of the great pros because I'm feeling confident that choosing that platform, I can take almost any project. I know there's going to be a tool for it. Just like when you build with WordPress, you know there's a plugin for it. When I build with Elementor, I know there's going to be a tool for it. And I know there's a larger market and I have choice. I know that some people say that they wish there was a lifetime plan for Elementor. So they would put that as a con. But actually, initially I was thinking the same, but now I see it as a pro, and I'm going to tell you why. Well, simply because if a company is overwhelmed because they have a lot of customers, but they don't make more money, then they cannot really grow their teams. They cannot really grow their resources. And at the end of the day, after a little while, you might find that nothing is really evolving and the product is not really getting better or is taking a lot of time. Whereas with the business model that Elementor chose, they keep on making money each and every year, recurring revenue, so they can grow the team, they can grow their resources, and you can see that the product is just getting better. And maybe that's why they have like 5 million active installs at the time of recording this video. Now for the cons, honestly, I don't have that many, but something that comes to the top of my mind is that if you're just a beginner, and you never heard about coding or websites, then you might feel a little bit intimidated. And I'm not saying that it's hard, it's not hard, but it's true that when you look at some of the other competitors, they look like it's easier, but actually it's all the same. It's just a way of thinking. But in my opinion, Elementor was built initially by developers with a sense for design also. So this is not Joomla. Don't worry, and sorry if you love Joomla, don't be offended, but that's not what I'm talking about. What I'm saying is that the way of thinking is really adapted to people who already touched development projects. And for some people that just want to build one website, they might find the interface a little bit daunting. Whereas in my opinion, it's really brilliant because it's a time saver for many things. So I'm sure there are other cons, but to be honest, in my day-to-day work, I use Elementor all the time, and I just don't have that many cons. And that's probably why I'm using it for all of my projects. Now let's talk about Divi. So Divi is a beautiful page builder, and it's actually the one I started working with before I started working with Elementor. And Divi is great, especially when you're a pure designer or you're a beginner. It looks very user-friendly. It's great for very simple websites, but beautiful websites. So the looks and the ease of use of the interface, I think it's a React interface, so it's kind of snappy, really snappy, and it looks really drag and drop touch. You can just resize everything. You have a lot of different things you can do visually. It's a lot of eye candy. Now, on top of that, the Divi team releases a lot of free layouts, beautiful layouts for the most part, and that comes with a subscription. And that's great because you don't have to pay anything extra to get that. And that brings me to my next point, is the fact that at the time of recording this video, you can either pay yearly or you can buy the lifetime package, which is quite cheap compared to what you would find on the market. So basically you pay once and you get everything. As a consumer, it's great. Now, I'm not so sure it's great for a company. Now, let's talk about the cons. Well, first of all, it took Divi a long time to release the theme builder. And that's actually one of the reasons that initially I kind of stopped using it, because Elementor released the theme builder and I really needed it for the project I was working on. Because I explained that in a previous video, but I used to, before I started working with Divi and Elementor and page builders in general, I used to get a new theme for each and every project. And I stopped doing that because that's a waste of time, a waste of money, a waste of resources, because like every theme is different and you need to learn you have a new learning curve for each and every theme. So I want to have one tech stack, one setup that I can really master. And initially I was working with Divi, but then they took way too long to release the theme builder. So that's one of the cons. Maybe they're slower to release really important features, and maybe that's because they have that thing I talked about, the fact that they don't have recurring revenue for the most part, because most people would take the lifetime plan. So like I said, for the people who take the yearly access, then they get recurring revenue. But I feel like most people, after a year, if they like Divi, they will go to the one-time plan, which is great, once again, as a consumer. But that could be the reason why it takes so long for Divi to actually release really important features, because maybe they cannot really grow their team. I don't know. I really respect that company and I love what they're doing, but I think that may have hurt them in the long run. Now, another con of Divi that people often talk about is the fact that there are a lot of shortcodes with the Divi builder, and that can be a mess when you just want to switch builders or just export your content. So if you have a 5 pages website, it's no big deal really. But if you have 500 pages, 5,000 pages, that might be an issue. Now, I don't know the current state of development. I don't know if they moved away from shortcodes, but I don't think so. I know that's something people often talk about. And last but not least, although the third-party market is big and growing actually, with a lot of great tools, I found that there were less professional companies making, established companies making tools for the Divi platform. And so you can get pretty much an add-on for anything, but you don't have that much choice. Now it's starting to change, but that's one of the cons I had when I really started working with other theme builders. Okay, so now let's talk about Thrive themes. So like I said, I haven't had an active subscription for like a year or more than a year, so I don't really know what's going on right now. But what I can tell you is that Thrive Architect is great when, let's say, you want to replace something like ClickFunnels and you really want to have metrics and marketing tools and work with marketing automation. I mean, this tool is marketing automation on steroids. It's great. The founder, I kind of like his mindset also, and he's teaching a lot of people about things outside of purely building websites. They also have the Thrive University. I don't know if it's called like that, but you have a lot of free courses that you're gonna get. And usually when you hear free courses, it can mean that, you know, it has no value, but that's not true. The quality of the content that they release is amazing. The blog post, but also the video content, I think it's really great. Another pro is that because it's built with high converting pages in mind, if you don't know anything about marketing, well, right out of the box, it's gonna help you sell more. If you have a good product, It can be really overwhelming when you have to create your website for the first time. If you don't know, if you're not a developer or a designer, it can be tough to just create your website. And then you need to think about online marketing and all this stuff. And eventually you will need to learn it. But the great thing is that by just using their layouts, they made things right out of the box, and that's great. Now for the cons, when I started using Thrive themes, I was kind of frustrated at the time because some of the basic things that I wanted to do, I couldn't really do it. Simple things like in the layouts that they have, I wanted to change some of the elements and I could not. I couldn't understand why, especially after having worked with Divi and Elementor. But then again, it was 2 or 3 years ago, and now they just released the Thrive Architect Theme Builder. I don't know if it's called like that, but it might have changed a lot. So I can only share the feeling I had at that time. But I felt like it was great for marketing automation, but for the little fine tuning for the design that I wanted to get, really precise design, I think that Elementor and Divi are really on top. Now, another con, in my opinion, is the pricing structure. Now, I know I've said that companies need to have recurring revenue if they want to persist and they want to grow their resources and just keep on producing better tools and better content. But that being said, if you're like an agency and you're building websites for a living, so you're going to pay roughly $19 per month. If you pay annually, so like $240, a little bit less, and you can only use the plugins and the themes on 25 of your own websites. Okay, so you need to move to the $49 a month plan agency membership, and for that, so you're gonna pay like $600 per year, and you can only use it on 50 clients' websites, which means that the day you have more than 50, you need to take a second membership, and that can quickly add up. Now, it depends. If you're selling websites for a premium, then you don't really care. But I'm just saying, if I compare, so on one hand we have Divi, like they offer everything for $249 for a lifetime, which is one extreme, and then here we have another extreme. So you have no unlimited websites plan, and in the middle you have Elementor Pro, and I think also Brizy, where you will pay something like $200 per year, but then you have like 1,000 websites or unlimited websites. So that's easier for agencies and freelancers. And I think the pricing alone can be one of the factors that will make someone choose one over the other. Once again, if you're a marketer or if you sell websites for a premium, that's not going to be an issue. But if you're just starting out, it can be kind of scary. So how do you go about choosing the best one? Well, the question is not the right one. I don't think there is one best one among all those theme builders. I think it's more of what do you need, and then you can find the best one. Also, if you have the chance to try all of those, then you will get an opinion. You will feel which one you prefer, because even if many of those tools have the same features, but there are little differences, and just the way you feel about it. This is just human. Just like when you meet someone, let's say you meet twins, okay? And they are identical, but you're gonna like one and maybe you're not gonna like the other one. They look identical, they talk identically, but just the personality is different. And that's the same thing with tools in general. So let's say that you want to choose based on your end goal. So if your end goal is just to build one website, you never heard about web design, you come from Wix, you've tried on Wix or some other tool, or not even that, then I think that, yeah, Elementor and Divi could be good fits. And now if I talk about the other ones, Brizy would definitely be a good fit for that. I think the easiest one to use is Brizy. And then you have Divi and Elementor, in my opinion, at the same level, but I know a lot of people that are just starting out, they would say that Divi seems to be easier when they're getting started. And then it kind of reverses when they get more knowledge, but definitely people starting out, they're gonna find Divi pretty easy to use, especially if they use something like Wix, which is purely, almost purely visual. So definitely a good fit. Now, if you're going to build more than one website, and you just want to get better, you want to learn how to create websites, and you want a solid tool, then I believe that Elementor is the right fit, because it's not that hard to learn. It's got a free version, so you can test before you actually purchase. And then once you feel comfortable with it, you can go with the pro version. And there are, like I said, a lot of third-party tools, so you're never really going to be stuck no matter the project. So I think that's a great fit in that scenario. Now, if you just need to create landing pages, funnels, marketing funnels, then I believe that Thrive Themes is a good fit, because you could go with just the personal license if it's for one of your websites. So it's going to be cheaper than the agency plan, and you get great tools built in. You get the Thrive University. It's really going to help you out on your journey. If you want to sell stuff online, you want to have those great marketing funnels, then I believe it can really help to choose Thrive Themes. Although I believe you can actually do kind of the same with Divi and Elementor. Divi has a built-in tool for A/B testing, which is great, but they don't have as many tools as Thrive. Now, with Elementor, I know there are some plugins where you can do A/B testing, but it's not built in. Now, if you want to create a full-blown agency, and then you're going to be creating a lot of websites, and maybe complex websites, then I would definitely go with Elementor, and I would choose an ecosystem of add-ons, maybe CrocoBlock. And in the best ideal world, I would go with Elementor Pro. Then I would use something like CrocoBlock and the Brainstorm Force suite with the Astra theme, ultimate add-ons for Elementor. And I think with that, this is rock solid. Now, there are a lot of great other add-on packs like essential add-ons, happy add-ons. There are so many add-ons. But one thing I want to make clear is that, in my opinion, because I see some people, they just take Elementor free, then they buy the add-on packs. And just imagine if everybody did that, then Elementor will go out of business. Honestly, I prefer to use what's in the core of Elementor to keep my install less bloated. And then per project, I try to have maximum one add-on pack, and I would choose the widgets that I need. So I would favor the add-on packs where I can just select exactly what I need and deactivate the rest. Now, most of the good ones do that nowadays. But definitely I would go with Elementor. Now, that's my choice. I can totally understand if you prefer Divi, you prefer something else, so don't get offended. But I've been doing that for a long time. And at least at the time of recording this video, because these things change. A few years ago, Divi was on top. You need recurring revenue. You need to have a good pricing point so that you can keep on growing and making your tool better. So, cut a long story short, it really helps me. And I hope that Elementor is going to go in the same direction because, like I said, things can change. But at the time of recording this video, I'm really happy with the ecosystem I have. I can build pretty much anything. And I work with some other freelancers that work with the same ecosystem. So it really helps. Now, the other way you could be making a decision is based on your budget. So if you want the most in terms of quantity out of what you're going to get, I think that it's hard to beat Divi. If you take the $249 one-time payment, it's lifetime for unlimited websites. It's got the Divi theme, it's got the Divi Builder. It's a great, great value. If you don't want to spend more, you don't want to, you're not going to spend annually and you just want a one-off payment, then I think Divi is going to be a great value for you. Now, like I said, it's more about quantity, although in my opinion, like I said, Divi is a great tool and Elegant Themes is a great company that I really respect. But I feel like if they move to a different business model, maybe they could have more resources to change some of the shortcomings of the tool, like the shortcode stuff and other things. But all in all, it's a great tool and a solid tool if you want to build a business around creating websites. Now, if you're just going to build one website, or on the other hand, if you want to build a lot of websites, you have an agency, then I would go with Elementor. I mean, if you have just one website, it's going to be $49 per year, and you get an amazing tool. Now, if you're going to build a lot of websites because you're a freelance or you have your own web studio, then it's $199 a year for 1,000 websites. It used to be unlimited, but unfortunately, some people abuse the system because they would buy the unlimited plan and they would go and resell licenses. And because of, I won't name them, but people like that, now we have to pay the same amount, but for 1,000 websites. But honestly, which one of you has built 1,000 websites? And then when you reach 1,000 websites, okay, you're going to pay another $200. But honestly, if you go over 1,000 websites, I think you can afford a second license for $199 a year. Plus, you get when you renew before the end date, I think you get a discount also. So, especially if you were in the beginning, you bought it at the beginning, then you have a 50% discount. But now, I don't know, I think it's 20%. But still, honestly, I don't know about you, but there are some companies I'm happy to pay a fee to because they listen to the community and they provide great value. Now, of course, I would never feel that way if I paid that amount and nothing was going on and the tool was buggy and bloated. I wouldn't feel that way, but I love the way they just go about things about the company, and I think they provide a lot of value. Now, bugs can always happen. They happen with Divi, they happen with Elementor, with Thrive. If you're into this business, you need to have patience and know that bugs happen. I've never seen a software or a web tool without any bugs, really. Now, if you have $250 to $600 to spend per year to have from 25 to 50 licenses, and if you need marketing tools, then Thrive could be a great fit. Now, it's more expensive than the other ones, but at the same time, none of the other ones provide the marketing tools that they provide built in. I personally know a couple of people that are really happy with Thrive, and that's because they have that profile. They're online marketers, and it really helps them, and they moved away from ClickFunnels to Thrive themes, and they're so happy about their purchase. Now, what is my recommendation? Well, if you know anything about my channel, you probably know my answer, but actually I'm hesitating.
Nah.
At the time of recording this video, I think that Elementor is a great fit for almost everybody. It's easy to use, it's stable, it's solid, it's got a decent and correct pricing in my opinion, whether you want to build one website or 1,000 websites. And I think it's a tool you can grow with, and you can base your tech stack on that tool because it's stable and the team has proved that they want to make this tool better. Now, you may have a different opinion, and that's totally fine. Everybody's entitled to their own opinion. So, question of the day, what is your favorite theme builder and why? Please let me know in the comments. Now, you will find all the affiliate links in the description of this video. But if you know anything about my channel, you know that one, I only recommend things that I love, and I told you what my recommendation is. Now, feel free, of course, to get the other ones because they're all great tools, to be honest. But like I said, I recommend things that I love. And second, I get a little kickback when you purchase through my links, and that helps me to produce free content just for you. Now, if you enjoyed this video, please like it as it really helps growing this channel. And if you know someone that could benefit from this video, please share it now. Now, if you want to grow your creative business and you're not yet subscribed to this channel, make sure you subscribe and smash the notification bell so that you don't miss anything. So that's it for this video. I hope to see you in the next one. And in the meantime, don't forget to invest
In your success.